So in addition to whose stock is up as we get ready for OU Texas, who has to have a big game and maybe who's going to be a surprise performer in this one? We'll discuss coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. OU Texas just a few days away, and we know the guys that are going to be key players in this one. Jay, who's somebody that's flying under the radar right now that you think has to step up and have a big game for Oklahoma to win this one?
Honestly, I think it's going to either be a combination. I think it's going to be a combo of Tory, Blaylock, and Knott. I do think that they're going to have an opportunity to actually run the ball in between the tackles and pick up some big yards and some big plays. Florida was able to figure that out. I know Texas is going to be focused on making sure that they clean a lot of that up, but our offensive line is actually solid as far, especially with pass blocking. If we can get the run blocking piece going, man, we should be good. Like, I don't want us to do a lot of the outside stuff. I really want us to attack their interior defensive line because I've mentioned they had to go to the portal and get 5 interior guys, which told me they had 0 interior guys that they felt super confident with playing, because you don't go get 5 if you, with all of the recruits that they brought in, you don't go get 5 dudes if you really feel good about them. So to me, you go attack that immediately. Go beat that up. Do the same thing Florida did. And just pound it, and get these guys to get more mean and make them realize, hey, this is Red River. They don't like you. We don't like them. Go in there, push them around, focus on that component, and give whoever the quarterback is time, but make sure that Tory, Blaylock and Knott has an opportunity to show out finally this season.
Yeah, I think in addition to that, offensively, you've got to see one of your wide receivers other than Isaiah Satania have a big day. And I think Dion Burks would be kind of the obvious choice here, but from a surprise perspective, I'm going to go with Ivan Carion. That's a Texas native, someone who I'm sure is very well versed in OU Texas. I bet he's going to be quite excited to play in this game and actually have a role in this one. I don't expect Keontez Lewis to play. I do expect them to try and limit Isaiah Satania's touches over the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. And that's going to create some opportunity for Ivan Carion in the middle third, where, you know, this team has been able to find some success in the intermediate passing game. He had a big play last week against Kent State. I imagine he'll have another opportunity for a big play as well. And we've seen at times the Texas defense struggle with pass coverage. So if Ivan Carion can get some targets and make some plays, I mean, he's got good hands. He's shown capable of making the spectacular catch. He could be one of those guys that has one of those OU Texas lore kind of games, because they're going to be so focused on Satania and Burks and Jaron Kanik that Carion, he's going to get a lot of opportunities.
I think that's a good point too. I think at wide receiver, you're going to need some guys to truly step up. For me, with you picking Carion, that's actually that's a good one, because I think that they're probably going to try to leverage his size in a lot of this, as you kind of made mention of. If I was to go with another wide receiver, I'm thinking that Zion Kearney has an opportunity to also do something. We know Giovanni Gibson's going to play, but he's on a snaps limit. It's basically proven in this game. They're going to limit his snaps. So you're going to get Giovanni Gibson. You're just not going to get a lot of Giovanni Gibson. You might. I mean, I think he played like 20-something snaps last game, so he may jump up into the 30 range in this game. He may get about 30, 35 snaps. So I expect him to play, but I think Zion Kearney has a good chance, especially because I know that him and Michael Hawkins kind of have a chemistry piece, especially from like the Navy game. If they go out there and do that again in this Texas game, especially if Michael Hawkins plays, hey man, there's a shot. But like you said, I expect Texas to really key in on Satania. They know that both quarterbacks like throwing it to him. They know both quarterbacks can go after him. But outside of that, this is the game that Burks can actually now show out. All the attention was on you to start, and Satania has taken advantage of it, which is perfect. Now it can turn. The tides can turn over to you, where they're like, okay, we got to stop Satania because we know they're going to go to him. Start hitting Burks across the middle more often, and I can see him breaking out. I need him to break out on a catch and just outrun everybody like we know he can.
Yeah, it's time for him to have that big play for sure. And again, I think the offensive line has to have their best game of the season this week.
Yeah.
You can't go into this one playing the way you played against Kent State. You've got to play closer to the Michigan game, closer to the Auburn game, and maybe even better than that, because I think Texas's defense is better than either of those two defenses. So now's the time. The challenge is there. Accept it. Rise to the occasion. If you do that, Oklahoma's going to have a great chance to win.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. All you got to do is step up and show everybody that you got this. Just we got to lock in, man. This is Texas. We want Texas to feel the pain. I want them to continue to be hurting. I want them to continue to be sad. I need us to keep the streak alive that they haven't won 2 games in a row in a while. I want us to keep that going. If we can keep that going, I'm satisfied. And this is an opportunity for it. I mean, they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Parker Livingstone is he's going to be available, but we know he's going to be limited because of that knee. Mosley has been limited the last few games. He should be somewhat back. They've got some injuries at corner. This is the game we need to take advantage of the fact that they're hurt and push them around and make it happen. I mean, we caused a lot of problems for Michigan when we played against them. This is the same thing that we need to do to this team. And Michigan, to me, their offensive line is way better than Texas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the Oklahoma defensive line to have another big week. We saw it a couple weeks ago against Auburn with the officially 9 sacks. David Stone probably should have gotten credited for one when he tackled Jackson Arnold at the line of scrimmage, but he didn't. So here we are. And we saw him play well against Bryce Underwood in Michigan. This is another great opportunity for this defensive line to really establish themselves as the best defensive line in college football. If they can put up big numbers, and really if they can contain Arch and they can limit the damage that he can do as a runner, then Oklahoma is going to have every opportunity to win this game, regardless of who's playing quarterback, because I just don't think Texas is going to run away from the Oklahoma offense.
I don't either. I don't think that Texas is going to be able to just easily. This year, this game is going to be a lot tougher to me a lot tougher this year than last year for Texas. Last year, you thought even with all of our struggles, we started off with a good fight. The defense could do so much, but it didn't have enough healthy bodies to keep it going. Well, I think we've got that now, and that, to me, because we've got that, it should be a really tough one for our Texas brethren down in the South.
Yep. So that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to let you know when new episodes drop. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube for more Oklahoma Sooners and college football coverage. I'm John Williams. You can follow me at John9Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms, where we'll have so much more Oklahoma Texas coverage this week, with great interviews with other hosts on the Locked On Network. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell for all of the great content coming your way. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer Sooner.